In Volthaven, they say I'm quick to bulk, hard to trace. Sure, I'm fast, but really, my parents named me Aurora Shooting Star because of my shocking good looks and natural brilliance. But seriously, I know what it's like to be held back by naysayers, and that's why I savor every thrill, every adventure. For anyone that sees only the hurdles, I'll show them how to zap their worries on the free fall. Well, if they're brave enough to take the leap. No one snapped back from adversity like I have. That's what sets me apart from all the celebrated wayfarers around here. Where they shoot high, I'll vault to the sky.
Today we will be looking at Aurora Shooting Star. If you don't know the fundamentals and general game mechanics, I strongly suggest watching my introductory Learn to Play video and guide by LSS. Each topic has its own timestamp for your convenience, so feel free to jump ahead to the section you need. If you'd like to support me and my work, consider becoming a channel member. Every contribution helps keep this channel running. Aurora was first introduced in the Rosetta set in September 2024. During that time, she also received her own First Strike deck, followed by her highly anticipated Armory deck in March 2025. Moving from First Strike to her Armory deck is a fantastic way to learn and grow with this hero. You can find First Strike and Armory deck gameplay linked in the description. The Runeblade class features a combination of arcane and physical attacks. In doing so, Aurora can strike from multiple angles, targeting the enemy's most vulnerable points.
They told me I couldn't be a wayfarer. Of course I didn't listen. Wherever there's thrills to be had, I'm not far behind.
Her hero ability says, once per turn instant. For 2 resources, create an embodiment of lightning token. Activate this only if you've played a lightning card this turn. Embodiment of lightning is an elemental token aura that says, when you play an attack action card, destroy this and the attack gets go again. Embodiment of Lightning is especially useful as many powerful cards don't naturally have go again. Her hero card also mentions Essence of Lightning. This means lightning cards may be included in her deck. Aurora thrives on aggressive play, but her approach shifts dramatically when you don't have an embodiment of lightning in play. Weigh your options carefully. Should you invest resources in activating her hero ability? Or would those resources be better spent on pure damage? Mixing physical and arcane damage will be your bread and butter to overpower your opponent's defensive capabilities. As you journey with Aurora, you will have access to the Runeblade, Lightning, Elemental, and generic card pool. Aurora is a beginner-friendly hero. She has access to quite a large card pool, but her overall game plan will usually stay the same. Go fast. There are a few weapon choices, but her signature weapon has proven to be the best so far. Starfall. Once per turn action. For 1 resource, attack. If you've played a lightning card this turn, this card's attacks get +1 attack power and go again. At first glance, this doesn't look particularly exciting, a conditional go again weapon, but this weapon can enable fun play patterns and it synergizes quite well with her card pool. Starfall will constantly check whether you've played a lightning card this turn. For instance, if you haven't played any lightning cards this turn, then play a lightning instant card before damage is dealt by Starfall, it will gain +1 attack power and go again. Not ready to fully commit to Aurora or her Armory deck just yet? Here are some budget equipment that can be used with this hero. Firstly, we have the Flash of Brilliance. When this defends, you may discard a lightning card. If you do, return an aura you control to its owner's hand and it has Blade Break 1. Aurora has access to a few great non-token auras. Make sure to check the aura section of this video. Ether Ironweave says, Action. Destroy Ether Ironweave. Gain 2 resources. Activate this ability only if you have played an attack action card and a non-attack action card this turn. Go again. Additionally, this one can block once and being battle worn, this will not be destroyed after blocking with it, meaning you can still use the action ability if not used yet. This is really a great budget option. Vexing Quill Hand. Action. Destroy Vexing Quill Hand. Create 2 Rune Chant tokens. Go again. A rune chant is a Runeblade aura token that says, when you play an attack action card or attack with a weapon, destroy rune chant and deal 1 arcane damage to target opposing hero. Vexing Quillhand also has built-in Arcane Barrier 1. This will be extremely useful against heroes that deal arcane damage, such as wizards, illusionists, and other Runeblades. There are plenty of other great budget options such as Crown of Dichotomy, Twinkle Toes, and especially Snapdragon Scalers, so make sure to check them out. I will cover her Armory deck equipment suite in the Armory deck special inclusion section, so stay tuned. Let's look at some example of lightning cards that Aurora can use. Some cards you can play are instants, and Aurora makes great use of this card type. These can be activated during either player's turn without consuming your action point. This allows for greater flexibility in timing your plays. The following are available in each pitch color, but I will only concentrate on the red versions. Electrostatic Discharge. The next attack action card you play this turn with cost 1 or less gets +3 attack power. Simple, effective, and synergizes quite well with other cards. This one will be making a few more appearances in this video. Lightning Press. Target attack action card with cost 1 or less gains +3 attack power. Quite similar to the previous card, but the wording differs slightly. Lightning Press affects the attack being played, whereas Electrostatic Discharge applies to the next attack. Electromagnetic Somersault is a great example of a versatile instant. Choose up to 2 attack action cards with cost 0 or more on the active chain link. Return them to their owner's hand when the chain link resolves. As mentioned earlier, instants can be played on either player's turn. As the turn player, you can target the attacking attack action card on the active chain link, or your opponent's turn, up to 2 defending attack action cards on the active chain link. If you are playing the red version, it can only target 0-cost attack action cards. Just a quick note, these don't have a block value, so they might be a bit troublesome if you can't close out the game quickly. However, don't let that discourage you from playing them, they're fantastic. Let's move on to lightning action cards that Aurora can use. Breakpoints are Aurora's best friend. You want to have a good density of 4 attack power cards in deck, and the lightning card pool provides plenty of options, particularly those with conditional go again effects as they don't rely on the embodiment of lightning. Lightning Surge, Second Strike, and Flittering Charge are a great example of this. Aurora will typically only play the red version of these cards as they are 0 for 4 attack power. Lightning Surge gains Go Again if played from Arsenal. Second Strike, when it attacks, if you've dealt damage this turn, it gets +1 attack power and Go Again. And Flittering Charge, if you've played an instant card this chain link, this gets Go Again. This chain link refers to the chain link of Flittering Charge. Remember the instance we discussed earlier? Take Lightning Press for example. If you play Flittering Charge and play Lightning Press, Flittering Charge will gain +3 and Go Again due to its ability and instant type. Current Funnel. If the last action card you played this turn was Lightning, this and the next action card you play this turn get Go Again. This is a fantastic chain extender. Plus it's a blue that blocks for 3, making it exceptionally versatile. Gone in a Flash. When this attacks, the next time you play an instant card this chain link, you may return this to its owner's hand. Gone in a Flash is an interesting one, but note, it does not have Go Again. You can play this as a 0 for 4 on its own, but playing an instant on its chain link is where this card shines. Just a few things to unpack with this one. When Gone in a Flash becomes an attacking card on the combat chain, it triggers and creates a delayed triggered effect, which allows the player to return it to hand the next time they play an instant, given it's on the same chain link. When the instant is played is very important. If an instant card is played before Gone in a Flash deals damage, the card is returned to hand and the combat chain closes. Alternatively, if an instant card is played after damage is dealt in the resolution step, Gone in a Flash returns to hand, but the combat chain does not close. If it's returned to hand in the resolution step, last known information is used to determine if it had Go Again and if an action point would be gained during the link step. Gone in a Flash can gain Go Again after it has already left the combat chain. First scenario, I play Electrostatic Discharge before Gone in a Flash. Gone in a Flash would gain +3 attack power, but Gone in a Flash's delayed trigger isn't active yet, so nothing further happens. Second scenario, let's say I control an embodiment of lightning and play Electrostatic Discharge after Gone in a Flash attack trigger resolves, but before damage is calculated. I may now return Gone in a Flash to hand. I have Go Again from the embodiment of lightning, and my next attack will gain +3 attack power. For other examples, check Rules Reprise number 23, Rosetta, link in the description. The last 3 lightning action cards I will touch on are Aurora Armory deck exclusives. I will be covering these in the Armory deck highlights section, so don't miss it.
Split cards were first introduced in the Rosetta set. Aurora has access to a few powerful ones, but before diving into specifics, here are a brief overview of how they work based on the Rosetta release notes. For more information on split cards, I'll include a link to the Rosetta release notes in the description.
A split card is a card that has 2 names, text boxes and type boxes. They are considered a single card with 2 names and a combination of all the properties from its 2 text boxes and type boxes, except when it is played. You can only include a split card in your card pool if you can include it with both type boxes. For example, if one type box has Runeblade and the other has Lightning, you can only include it in your card pool if you can include Lightning Runeblade cards.
To gain a clearer understanding of this card type, let's explore the ability linked to them, known as Meld.
Meld says, you may play one or both halves of this card. Each costs X. X refers to the pitch cost of the card. The starting resource cost to play a melded card is twice the base cost of the card. For example, if a split card has a pitch cost of 1, the melded cost would be 2. When you play a split card with the meld ability, you must announce if you will meld the split card or announce which side of the split card will be played. If you choose to meld a split card, it is considered to be a single card with the properties of both sides. After you announce the melded card, continuous effects that apply to either side of the split card will apply to the melded card. If you want to play a melded card that has the action type on one of its sides, you can only do so on an empty stack, and it will cost 1 action point, even if the other side has the instant type. If an effect would allow you to play the melded card as an instant, you do not need to play it on an empty stack or pay an action point. If either half of a melded card gets Go Again, the entire melded card has Go Again. When a melded card is fully resolved, if the card has Go Again, the controller gains an action point. Players get priority between the resolution of each side of the card. The turn player receives priority after the melded card resolves the first time. This is the right half, but before it gets resolved the second time, which is the left half. Let's use an example to explain this and showcase a split card Aurora can use. For this example, I will use Burn Up Shock. Meld cost is 0. Left half is an action that says, the next time an attack you control hits a hero this turn, deal 4 arcane damage to them. Go again. The right half is an instant. Deal 1 arcane damage to any target. Okay, so let's say I play Burn Up Shock on my turn and meld the card. The pitch cost of this is 0, so here both halves will be 0. Both my opponent and I pass priority, and the melded Burn Up Shock layer resolves for the first time. I deal 1 arcane damage. I regain priority, and Burn Up is now on the stack. In response, my opponent plays Etherize, targeting my melded Burn Up Shock. Without an instant response, my opponent's Etherize resolves, nullifying the Burn Up Shock, removing it and its layer from the stack. As a result, I do not gain the action point from the Go Again on Burn Up because it did not resolve a second time. At time of recording, Aurora has access to only 2 split cards, but I suspect we will see more in the future.
Let's look at some elemental cards that make use of the fusion mechanic.
Fusion is a keyword that fuses one or more elements with an elemental card to give an additional effect. For example, let's take Entwine Lightning. If Entwine Lightning was fused, it gains Go Again. Important notes regarding fusion. You can't reveal a card you're using to pitch to play the card. You may still play the card without paying the additional cost of fusion. In this instance, Entwine Lightning would not gain Go Again. An elemental card with Lightning Fusion is not a lightning card, meaning you can't use it to fuse a card. For other fusion-specific rules, visit the FABTCG Rules and Policy Center under Tales of Aria. Link will be in the description. Arcanic Shockwave, Lightning Fusion. When you attack with Arcanic Shockwave, if it was fused, deal 1 arcane damage to target hero. Again, you can still play this card without fusing, it just won't deal arcane damage. Static Shock is similar but contains a different keyword. Lightning Flow is a label keyword that indicates if you've played a lightning card this turn, an effect will apply. In the case of Static Shock, it deals 1 arcane damage if it hits. Flicker Wisp, Lightning Fusion. If Flicker Wisp was fused, until end of turn, action card effects you control that deal arcane damage, instead deal that much arcane damage plus 1. Deal 1 arcane damage to target hero. Go again. Flicker Wisp does trigger on itself, which is neat, but combined with other cards like Arc Lightning, Flicker Wisp can be devastating. More on this later. Flicker Wisp works with cards like Arcanic Shockwave and Static Shock as well.
Now, there's a plethora of Runeblade class-specific cards that Aurora can play, but at time of recording, she mostly utilizes elemental and lightning Runeblade cards, such as the ones mentioned earlier.
Arcanic Crackle is not a bad inclusion, especially with Embodiment of Lightning and Instant Pump cards. When this attacks, deal 1 arcane damage to target hero. One that has seen some play is the Runeblade defense reaction Sigil of Suffering. Deal 1 arcane damage to the attacking hero. If you have dealt arcane damage this turn, Sigil of Suffering gains +1 defense. In some instances, this defense reaction alone can be the final blow to win the game. Waiting for your opponent to overcommit resources, especially on low life, is a great way to use this defense reaction.
Other cards to consider are auras. Some may trigger effects when they leave the arena, while others offer powerful bonuses and can become highly impactful if you can keep them around for a few turns.
Sigil of Lightning. At the beginning of your action phase, destroy this. When this leaves the arena, create an Embodiment of Lightning token. Doesn't look very special, but embodiments are a vital part of Aurora's game plan. Being an instant, it can have fun interactions with cards such as Gone in a Flash. Channel Lightning Valley is an aura that requires you to pitch lightning cards to keep in the arena. The first time you deal damage to an opposing hero each turn, draw a card. This is any type of damage, and being an instant, you can play it before the damage is dealt. Understanding the second part of this card is crucial, as it explains how to keep this aura in play for multiple turns. Channel Lightning. At the beginning of your end phase, put a flow counter on this, then destroy it unless you put a lightning card from your pitch zone on the bottom of your deck for each flow counter on it. Let's say Channel Lightning Valley is in the arena, and I've played my last attack. At the beginning of my end phase, I must place 1 flow counter on Channel Lightning Valley. Then, I check my pitch zone to ensure it contains the required number of lightning cards equal to the number of flow counters on Channel Lightning Valley. In this case, that number is 1. To meet this requirement, I'll place a lightning card from my pitch zone at the bottom of my deck, allowing Channel Lightning Valley to remain in play. If I can't meet that requirement, Channel Lightning Valley will be placed in my graveyard. Very important note on timing of this card. If you have already dealt damage to an opposing hero, and then Channel Lightning Valley enters the arena, it will not trigger when you deal damage again that turn because it missed the first time you dealt damage. Another fun interaction would be on your opponent's turn. For example, let's say as a defense reaction I play Sigil of Suffering. In response to my own defense reaction and before damage is dealt by Sigil of Suffering, I can play Channel Lightning Valley. If my opponent takes the arcane damage, I will draw a card.
All heroes have specific specialization cards that can only be played in their respective hero deck. At time of recording, for Aurora, we have Arc Lightning.
Arc Lightning says, whenever you go again this turn, deal 1 arcane damage to any target. The next action card you play this turn gets Go Again, Go Again. This card is simply Chef's Kiss. Arc Lightning's first ability generates a triggered effect that triggers every time Go Again on an object is resolved that turn. This effect can trigger on action, weapons, items, and activated abilities on equipment that has Go Again. Even Arc Lightning will trigger its own triggered effect since it has Go Again. As mentioned earlier, in combination with Flicker Wisp, it can generate absurd amounts of damage. For example, I play Flicker Wisp and fuse with Arc Lightning. This will ping 2 arcane damage from itself. Then I play Arc Lightning. This deals 2 arcane damage and gives my next action card Go Again. Let's follow it up with Snatch. This has Go Again from the Arc Lightning, threatening a card draw from it hitting. The Go Again deals another 2 arcane. I'll break the chain and activate Grasp of the Arc Knight and create a rune chant. This equipment action has Go Again, triggering Arc Lightning and Flicker Wisp once more, and deals 2 arcane. With my floating resource, I play Starfall. This has +1 and Go Again. Since I did play a lightning card this turn, the Go Again will deal 2 arcane damage. And this combo can continue as long as I have sources of Go Again. There are a bunch of different ways to combo with Arc Lightning, so make sure to test it out, experiment, and have fun.
Already have or considering getting her Armory deck? Let's look at the equipment suite included.
Cap of Quick Thinking, Instant. Destroy this. If you would be dealt damage by a source an opponent controls this turn, you may discard an instant card to prevent one of that damage and draw a card. Have too many instant cards in your hand? With this, you cycle 1 away and prevent 1 damage at the same time. Simple but effective. Shock Frock. Action. Destroy this. Gain 1 resource. Activate this only if you've played a lightning card this turn. Go Again. This equipment not only blocks for 1, but also combos with Arc Lightning. It can give you that 1 resource to swing with Starfall. A great addition. Zap Clappers. When this defends, you may reveal an instant card from your hand. If you do, deal 1 arcane damage to the attacking hero. It has Blade Break too. This one can create fun interactions with Channel Lightning Valley if your opponent has no way of preventing the damage. Starlight Striders is similar to Zap Clappers. When this defends, you may reveal an instant card from your hand. If you do, create an embodiment of Lightning token. It has Blade Break 1. This can be a great way to block and set up a turn if you are not already controlling an embodiment of lightning.
In addition to the cards covered earlier, here are some standout cards included in her Armory deck.
First, we have the Runeblade Lightning action card Skyward Serenade. Choose 2. Create an embodiment of lightning token. Search your deck for a Skisic, banish it, then shuffle. You may play it this turn. Your next attack this turn gets +1 attack power. Go Again. Being able to choose 2 modes here can significantly enhance your turn. The second mode mentions to search for a Skisic. Skisic is an attack action card that says, if this has Go Again, it gets +1 attack power. This pairs wonderfully with Skyward Serenade. For instance, if you don't have an embodiment of lightning yet, selecting the first 2 modes can grant your searched Skisic Go Again, and +1 from its own effect. There are tons of great combinations to explore with Skyward Serenade, so make sure to experiment with this card. And lastly, and certainly not least, we have Written in the Stars. Create an embodiment of lightning token. If you've dealt arcane damage this turn, draw a card. Apart from the obvious, 0 cost blue block 3, this card is amazing, but note, it does not have Go Again. Arc Lightning comes to mind as a good way to extract value, as it grants the next action card you play Go Again. If you can squeeze in a sneaky arcane damage before playing this, even better.
These cards are an amazing addition to her card pool. It opens up a lot of new exciting lines and combos. I cannot recommend this product enough. It's a fantastic entry point to the game and the Runeblade class. Looking for other equipment upgrades for Aurora? There's a bunch of options, so I won't cover all of them, but here is a short list to consider.
Grasp of the Arc Knight is a legendary arm piece that has been a staple in all Runeblade decks. Once per turn action, by pitching 2 resources, you can create a Runechant token. This ability will cost an additional resource to activate for each Runechant you control. It also has Battle Worn 2. Lightning Greaves. Instant. For 1 resource, destroy this. Instant cards you play this turn get go again. It also has Arcane Barrier 1 and Battle Worn 1. The instant ability on this can unlock a great go-wide combo. Giving your instant cards go again will net you a bunch of additional action points. Face Purgatory provides some good disruption. When this defends together with an attack action card and a non-attack action card, the attacking hero discards a card, and you draw a card. The drawback of playing this equipment in Aurora is the effect will require to block with 2 cards. You do draw 1 back, but you are still down a card. The last equipment is Dyadic Carapace. This one has Arcane Barrier 2 and Temper 2. Excellent against wizards, but offer great blocking capabilities as well.
Aurora will often include some generic cards in her card pool. Using her instant ability to give powerful generic cards go again can be incredible, but adding too many generics, and especially those with a higher pitch cost, can slow you down, so finding that right balance will be important.
Let's kick this off with equipment. For this we have Crown of Providence and Snapdragon Scalers. Crown of Providence can be quite pricey, but if you plan to stay invested in Flesh and Blood long term, this equipment is well worth the investment as you only need 1 across all decks. Generic chain extenders like Ravenous Rabble, Scar for a Scar, and Enlightened Strike can be highly effective and fits well with her go-wide aggressive game plan. Cards that can benefit from her hero ability, we have Snatch and Exude Confidence. Being able to give Snatch go again with her embodiment can be incredible. And lastly, we have Sigil of Solace. This one is an interesting option as it can combo with Lightning Greaves.
The Runeblade and Lightning card pool is quite large, but Aurora primarily favors an aggressive playstyle. I'll provide some sample deck lists in the description.
Aurora thrives on aggressive play, but her effectiveness shifts significantly when you don't have an embodiment of lightning in play. Knowing when to spend valuable resources on her ability or investing in direct damage will be incredibly important. Planning ahead is just as critical as executing your current turn. Being a Runeblade, she typically closes out games by combining physical and arcane damage to bypass an opponent's defenses. Typically, you are looking at very few blues, about 6 to 9, 17 to 20 instant cards, 12 to 15 impactful non-attack actions, and 30 to 36 attack actions that offers breakpoints.
Alright, you're all set to give Aurora a go. For a quick refresher, check out her dev download on the FABTCG website, link in the description. If you like this video, make sure to give us a like, share, and subscribe. This was Jackie for the Fab Workshop. See you next time, and thanks for watching.